hardworking individual who's just looking to make some extra money on the side without putting in too much extra effort. Guess what? You've come to the right place. Welcome back to Traveling Earner, guys. Thank you all for watching this very first episode in the series where I track my extra income earnings for 2019. I'm going to talk to you about an app today that I found a couple weeks ago that's been really helping me earn some extra money on the side. That app is called Gigwalk. It's Gigwalk. Gigwalk. It's an independent contracting agency that allows freelancers on the side to take up jobs from larger corporations to do audits for their inventory. So what I've been doing for the last couple weeks with this company, what happens is you open up the app and the available gigs pop up in your area. So usually these audits run anywhere from $4 to $7 for a job. So you select the job, you apply for it, and you attempt to get that job done in 3, 12, or 24 hours. Now, depending on your availability, how far away you are, whether you have to drive or not, if you're going to other gigs, or if you're just doing this on the side on your full-time job, you might have to pick 24 hours. That's what I generally do. So what I'll do is I'll select a gig in my area that I'm either live nearby or I work nearby, and I select 24 hours I can get this job done in. Once I get selected, if I get selected, I go to this job site whenever I have some free time, during my lunch break, after work, on my way home, whatever it may be, whenever I have some extra time. All you really have to do for most of these audits is take some pictures of the inventory that the company wants. So for instance, one of the jobs that I've been going to a lot lately is for Costco or BJ's or Walmart, some of the big box corporations in America, where they want to survey their inventory for some of the display cases that they put together. So if you've ever been inside one of these stores, you'll see that they put together these very nice, attractive display cases of either medicine products, baby products, sports drinks, you name it. And it's all appealing to the eye. So what the corporation wants to do is just make sure that that actually looks presentable and it's where it's supposed to be in the store, how the bosses want it to be. So they hire this outside company through Gigwalk, and it selects a freelancer to do that job and take pictures and submit it. And then what happens is they review those pictures, they review the comments that you would put into the section that's described, and then you get your money. So the reason why I like Gigwalk is because you can set your own schedule depending on your own availability. There's no requirement for you to get a job, whether if you're really busy during a certain week or during a certain month, maybe you don't have enough time, you don't have to take a job. It's completely up to you. And you're able to withdraw. There's no rating system as far as I can tell. There's no benefit to actually completing a job or withdrawing from one. So if you do select a job and you apply for it, and then for whatever reason, maybe something comes up and you can't do it anymore, you could just withdraw your application. And to me, there's no, maybe there is behind in a hidden algorithm, but up front, there's no real rating system as to getting this job done or how well of a freelancer you are, per se. So what happens is you won't be able to reapply for that job again in the future. It'll tell you that this ticket is now closed or it's not accepting applications anymore. So it kind of locks you out from doing that job a second time. To be honest with you, with this app and when you're going to job sites, it does get a little bit nerve-wracking, to say the least. Sometimes it's a little weird. You know, you're going inside of a store and you're taking pictures. Sometimes the workers won't feel comfortable with you doing it. There was one time I had to go to a mall and survey some inventory of a pizza cafe, and the workers don't really get notified that this is happening. So nobody really knows that you're going to be there. So when you show up and you're just trying to take pictures with your phone, it gets a little bit weird for some of the workers that they don't really appreciate, that somebody's taking pictures of their stuff, and they tell you that they're doing an audit. So audit is a bad word in the industry. So when you hear that word audit, usually it's a bad thing. But for Gigwalk, for gig walkers, what they call them, it's really nothing negative. There's no reason for the audit in a negative light. There's nothing that store did wrong. It's just that the company wants to make sure that what their promotional advertisements are going for are actually being carried through. But like I said, there was one job recently, another one that I had to go for survey the tobacco products at Quick Check locations. So I selected 4 in my area because they did 1 in each town. So I did 4. I attempted to do 4 in one day. 2 of the locations, the employees were completely understanding. They said, hey, you know what you got to do what you got to do. I showed them the app. I showed them the letter that Gigwalk provides you that lets the employees know what's happening. And they were like, okay, go for it. It's just a couple pictures. Do your thing. The other 2 locations, though, they weren't comfortable with me taking pictures. So I gave them the letter. It tells them, it has the contact information for the company that hired me as a freelancer, and it just didn't satisfy them. They said that they needed to hear from their corporate bosses first, and that they didn't know this was happening. So until they get notified of the audit, then they're not going to let me take pictures. In that case, I was respectful. I told them, hey, it's not a problem, don't worry about it. I filled out all the survey questions that were in that report as well, because what happens is you have to take pictures and answer some questions, basic questions, just whether there are products on display or not, or in the right location. So I answered all the questions that I could. I took the picture of the storefront from the outside, which is another requirement, and I went on my merry way. And I explained in the comment section of that job that, listen, the workers weren't comfortable with me taking pictures inside the store. So I haven't heard anything back yet as to whether I'll be paid for those. Most likely, I'm assuming that I won't be, but that's okay. It's understandable. What I'm going to do in the future, and I advise anybody that wants to download this app and see for themselves, is generate some business cards for yourself. Write your name, write that you're a freelancer, you're an independent contractor, whatever. Explain that, write somewhere on there your phone number, your town address. You don't have to put your actual address. And then write that you're a Gigwalk representative. And what I'm going to do is place the phone number for the Gigwalk offices on there as well, so that way they can keep that business card in case anything happens. If they have any questions, they can contact you, they can contact the company. If their corporate headquarters for whatever reason didn't approve of this, they can contact them and give them your relevant information. It just covers all your bases to make sure that, you know, you were there in the right, you were just doing a job that you wanted to do. And in the end, you get paid $6 or $7 for a gig. So if you do 4 or 5 in a day, which, like I said, some of them they pop up in all the surrounding towns around you, then that could make for a good payday. You're paying taxes at the end of the year, so you have to file your W-2s separately. So Gigwalk provides that information at the end of the year. But you walk away, you know, $24 to $28 richer, and it makes for a good little side profit. There's one last note about Gigwalk that I want to make everybody aware of. They're available right now in 8 metropolitan cities. I believe that's New York, LA, San Francisco, Boston, Philly, Chicago, Miami, and Seattle. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to live in one of those cities. I live outside of one of those cities in a different state, actually, and the metropolitan area extends into my zone, into my district, and I'm able to pick up a lot of different jobs almost every day. So try it out. It's free to download. Again, it's Gigwalk. Again, you get to set your own schedule. You get to do whatever you want to do. So far this year, in the last 2 weeks, I've made, if everything turns out right, I would have made $40 around that area of extra income. So for the month, that's pretty good if you start doing this more often. Now again, I am doing a lot of different side projects at one time, trying to see which one is going to generate the most money before I select the one that I'm going to go for. So right now, Gigwalk is up there as one of the main contenders, along with reselling on eBay. So I'll let you guys know how that pans out in the future, and you can look forward to the future videos where I explain exactly how much I made that month, where it came from, what side jobs it gave me what money, and so on and so forth. But yeah, just try it out, guys. Download the app. It's free. You sign up with your profile, and that's all. It's really, really easy, really simple. And go make some extra money, guys. Now, if you found this video helpful or you enjoyed the content, if you would like me to explain more about other side jobs that I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button below. Also hit the like button. You'll get notified on future videos every 2 or 3 days. I plan on doing them. And yeah, guys, I look forward to 2019 with all of you. Thanks.